Hi everyone, and welcome to your last day of physics. So I do have an important announcement, and it is at the end of the video. So make sure you watch the whole thing. I promise you will not be disappointed. So, important announcement. Okay, first off, today is Loving Day. If you haven't heard this one before, it's June 12th every year. June 12th is Loving Day. If you haven't heard of it, it's okay. It's kind of an obscure holiday. I'll forgive you. But here's what it's for. Loving Day is the anniversary in which the state of Virginia lost its Supreme Court battle against Mildred and Richard Loving. The Loving story actually starts a long time ago. It starts when the Lovings are little kids. Actually, Richard used to play baseball and all that with Millie's family. They grew up together, fell in love, got married, had I want to say their son. And one night, in the middle of the night, they were arrested, thrown separately into jail. Millie was pregnant at the time, and they were told that they were going to spend a year in jail, with the crime being that they had married outside their race. They were married in 1958, and the ACLU took up their court case. The ACLU was able to fight with them all the way to the Supreme Court, which overturned the Virginia State Supreme Court's decision and also set the precedent, a legal precedent, for repealing all the nation's anti-miscegenation laws. Those were the laws that prevented racial mixing in marriage. Now, that might not seem like a super physicsy thing, but it is a super important thing for me. One of the reasons that I celebrate Loving Day and the Loving story is that, well, of course, my parents being multiracial, my mom is from Vietnam. She came over to this country in 1974, and my dad being Polish, Dutch, German, etc., they were able to get married as a result of the Loving versus Virginia decision. But, a few years in the future, they weren't married in 1967. That would make me very old. There's them now. They have been married, I want to say, at least probably around 40 years or so. Getting there. I should probably know. Bad kid. In any case, the Loving versus Virginia decision and Loving Day is important to me because it allowed my parents to get married and spend their life together. It also allowed John's parents to get married and spend their life together. John's dad, that's Nate, is from West Virginia, and he was able to marry Mary in, I want to say, 1983 or so. Then they had this handsome guy, John. So this is John when he was little. Look at all that hair. It's ridiculous. It's also his little brother, his cousin, his half-brother, and his aunt. The Loving versus Virginia decision allowed them to get married. And, well, that leaves us. So a lot of the anti-miscegenation laws didn't necessarily prevent mixed people from marrying, but they definitely would have some questions for John and I as we get married today. If you are watching this on Friday, June 12th, 2020, today's the day we're getting married. If you were on that Zoom meeting yesterday and you're like, why is Miss Pasega wearing like makeup and clothing? It's because my sister wanted a picture of my wedding dress, and so I went to go take a picture and then realized that your Zoom meeting was starting and was like, oh, well, they're gonna see the dress. So, guys, if you are watching this on Friday the 12th, I'm getting married at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Big day for us. It's why I said I wasn't gonna be available on Friday. So, have a good summer. I'll see you in the fall, and I'll still be Miss Pasega in the fall. I'm not changing my name. So you can still call me Miss B. You don't have to remember a whole new last name. But I will see you soon. Bye, guys.